This video is rated fucked up because it's going to be going places that some people probably don't want to hear too much of, so viewer discretion is advised. On the topic of discussion today, the devil and God's agenda. Where do we go with that? Let's see. I'd have to say the nature of the world is very complicated for human beings to understand, seeing as how we want things to always go the way we plan it, but that's not the way it's going to go. For instance, we have leftists, we have rightists, we have the extremes of both. We have this religion, we have that religion. But what does it all really mean? In my opinion, opposition is always created by the divine. The divine likes the challenge, so it makes two opposing forces. Duality, or whatever you call it. In terms of the agenda, what we usually don't want to happen is probably going to happen. Now, what does this mean for the world? Let's say we're not comfortable with gays, for instance. People fight on both sides. The nature of the divine, the nature of the cosmos, it's natural. Then it becomes natural, becomes law. We have to accept it. And then there's the Hegelian dialectic, which maybe some of you have researched. Problem, reaction, solution. This is actually how our society works today, though many people don't realize it. We have politics involved, we have media involved, but really, the agenda will push through either way. You're going to see a lot of shit you don't like or agree with, but it's going to happen anyway. Just going to have to learn to accept that. That's the nature of the world. That's what I believe is God's plan. That's what I believe is the devil's plan. I believe they both work together personally, or are even the same being. Could be wrong, but hey, my opinion, you don't like it, you know where to go. As far as the nature of the cosmos, chaos, order, maybe more so chaos. Most likely more so chaos, with an order. In my opinion, that's how it's always been. We think we are in control, but we're really not. I mean, we try to fight our own nature half the time. Human nature, animal nature, whatever. We're always trying to fight nature. Always trying to push it back. Always trying to have dominion over it. It comes back like a motherfucker. Now, let's see, where was I going with this? I had a dream once where I was sitting on a grassy hill. It looked like some place like Norway or Ireland, I don't know. I was sitting there with my grandmother, and it looked like we were discussing life or whatever, some other shit. I don't know. I remember mentioning in the dream, hey, I play both sides. I didn't know what it meant at the time, but now I kind of understand it. I think it was maybe an aspect of my higher self or whatever telling her this, or just me consciously saying, hey, I play both sides of this whole thing. I mean, I play this side against that side because that's the nature of the world. We start off on one side, end up on another, or sometimes we're neutral, moderate, whatever you want to call it. That's how I see it. That can go either way, depending on whether my opinions change, whether I'm presented with facts. That's how I believe a person should be. Now, some people, they're stuck inside the box, stuck inside a book, stuck inside some belief system or whatnot. I say, look, you have to be tolerant of all. Otherwise, you're missing the big picture. And the big picture is we think we're in control, want to be in control, but sometimes we have to realize and surrender the fact that we are not in control fully. Now, you can call this fate, you can call this destiny, it doesn't really matter. But in my opinion, there's multiple branches of fate and destiny. Fate, it seems more like you can control. Destiny has different pathways, maybe even possibly leading to the same goal eventually. Who knows? Sometimes I have precognitory dreams, other times things just happen the way they do. And that's just the way the energy works. It's completely on its own. Um, as far as the motive behind this, the motive obviously is unity of some sort. We're all going to move towards, eventually, I believe, a mode of unity, whether we like it or not. Probably going to be a lot of fighting and war for a while yet. This is still considered an age of war because, I mean, look at it. People fighting over the stupidest shit. I mean, as small as just a simple argument on Facebook. I've been dealing with this for like weeks now. Because propaganda is there everywhere, all over the place, leading people to believe whatever the fuck and not able to accept opinions. Got snowflakes, broflakes, flakes, ass flakes, whatever the fuck you want to call them anymore. All looking for that safe zone, all looking to be offended, finding some reason or another. It's ridiculous. What I say is stand your own ground, stand for yourself, be an individual, think for yourself, have your free will, have your freedom of thought. Don't let these damn thought police come around and tell you what you're supposed to believe, because that's not the way that things work. It never will work that way. That's just messed up. So be who you are, always. And if you have to surrender your own ego, if you have to be wrong, do so. If you're presented with facts, you have to accept the facts. That's just the way it works. Now, facts can change, and sometimes they become lies. You have to understand that too. Now, as far as doublespeak, people can be thinking they're telling the truth. Honestly, they could be telling someone else's lie. Or they could be actually believing that they're telling the truth, but lying to themselves at the same time. But there's also people who are so adept at lying at the way they word things. They can say the truth and a lie in the same sentence, if you follow. This is also how the world works. There are people in power who do this every single day. This is how they change the world that easily. That's how they get to where they are. Now, believe what you want about this, but I was told this, and I'm telling you this. This is how some of the worst monsters in the world are. And do I agree with it constantly? No. Because I like to live a happy life. I like to live a free life. But freedom isn't really freedom is it? Just like, you know, the way we live now, we could be doing so much better. I mean, look at this country, look at other countries, look at the world. Everywhere you see someone suffering. Everywhere. Now, people can build a life for themselves if given the opportunity, if they band together, if they help each other out. I came here, I had nothing. I had to rely on others to get certain things and my own money that I earn. However, you want to put that. I mean, yeah, I'm disabled now, but you know what? I earn my own money. I get tired of people saying, well, you're not grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful for life, grateful for everything I get. And I think everybody should be like that. Be grateful for the things that the universe, cosmos, chaos, whatever hands you, because you're going to learn from that and you're going to grow from that. You may end up losing things, material possessions, friends, family, people, pets, whatever, but you have to keep living. That's just the nature of life. It goes on. Energy continues. Always. Is there an afterlife? Very possibly so. Do we have to fear it? Not if you're not a bad person. If you're a bad person, chances are you're going into death with fear in your heart because you know you done fucked up. Simple as that. You'll see what you fear. And some people have had near death experiences and they've seen exactly what they feared and have lived to talk about it. But some people who are good, they see good things. But you don't have to die to see these things. You can see them all around you. Sometimes in the physical world, astral world, whatever. Just how it is. Let's see. In my opinion, this is seeing beyond normal human comprehension. Perhaps a way to evolve in some sense. Now, I don't consider myself to be the greatest or the most perfect or anything like that because that's not the design. The design is, hey, you have to be flawed. Otherwise, you're not going to have anything to work on when you come into this life. It'd be kind of boring if you were perfect all the time, right? I mean, maybe that's what the plan is all about anyway. To work on each other, work on ourselves. But really, working on yourself is sometimes working on others too. Because we learn by what we do. Sometimes we do bad things, we reap consequences, we reap penalties, but we learn the life lessons, and that's necessary. We have to learn these things. Otherwise, we cannot grow together as a species. Now, there's fights over racism, sexism, gender equality, all of that stuff. Homosexuality, just all of this. It's nonsense. It's really nonsense. Because in the end, what are we? The same damn creature looking in the mirror each day. We're just fighting over ideas and thoughts. Now, some are fact, some are fiction. You have to determine which is which. But here's something that I believe is that fiction may exist in another reality. I believe there's other realities. And I believe that I may have seen them possibly other people have seen. Maybe we even create these places as thought forms, whatever. But yeah, that's my way of thinking nowadays. I honestly get tired of fighting people for what I believe. And I know other people get tired of fighting too. We get these schisms between different religious organizations. We get these schisms between this church and that church, or this path or that path. Someone wants to hold a monopoly. Look, it's not gonna work. You try to hold a monopoly over a belief, what do you think's gonna happen? One of them's gonna fall eventually, and the victors write history. That much is proven by now, is it not? Anyway, I don't know what else I need to elaborate on in this video, but you're free to comment, free to ask questions. I just think that the way the world is today, it's exactly the way it's meant to be. It may improve in ways, but chances are there's a lot of things that you as an audience are not going to like. I'm not going to go into detail of the changes that will be made, but I can just kind of see it happening because of the way of things I'm seeing in the news, in my feed, in various websites and articles. Some things we just cannot change about ourselves, our human nature. We are animals in some senses. But that doesn't mean we have to put up with shit. That doesn't mean we have to tolerate people harming us. If they want to harm themselves, so be it. We can't really prevent people from harming themselves unless they get, taken away, put in an institution and shit. But nowadays it seems like people are getting out and they're still hurting themselves and others. And our system's really broken by now. You can see our system's broken. Justice in this system is dead because people who shouldn't be messed with, consequentially, are being messed with. Some are even being killed. Some are being raped. It's messed up. And other people who are bad people are given leniency. They are free to walk. They're free to reproduce. They're free to spread their bullshit everywhere. And it's really fucking up society, obviously. But guess what? As I said before, that's the nature of chaos. It's going to continue until something comes along, either better or worse, and stops it. For the better or for the worse. Who knows? We'll have to see. That's all I have to say for this video. Thank you for watching.